Yes. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You're a Muslim, right?
Right, yeah, I am.
So the
Why
question
you hate
is,
your Quran, man?
why you hate your Quran?
Yeah, I don't. I love my Quran.
You love it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, this is going to be the first one. Word. Good luck, brother.
Sound good.
Yeah.
Amadou, you got a Quran on you?
Yeah, I have the Quran app with me. Yeah.
Can you read Surah An-Nisa, verse 78? Ayat 78.
Surah Nisa. All right, give me a second.
Chapter 4, verse 78.
Yep.
Logic's like, what are we doing now, man?
Where you going with this one? Huh?
You would like to
All
know,
right.
brother.
It says, wherever you are, death will catch up to you, even if you are. Wait, 1 second. Yeah. Even if you are in impenetrable fortresses, if a good thing happens to them, they say this is from Allah. But if a bad thing happens to them, they say this has come from you. Say everything comes from Allah. What is the matter with these people that they scarcely understand a single word?
So everything good and bad comes from Allah, right?
All right.
All right, read 79.
Of the same chapter?
Yeah. Next verse.
Whatever good befalls you is from Allah.
Keep going.
And whatever evil befalls you is from yourself.
It's contradiction, ain't it?
Well,
Previous verse says that
necessarily,
all
right?
good and bad comes from Allah.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, God is making this
479
general
says-
confirmation in 78, right? Because he's quoting people when he says 78.
But
No, remember,
says-
no. All on 78 says, and they say this has come from Allah. It's just referring to the bad, correct? You read it.
But what did he tell Muhammad?
What do you mean?
What did he tell
told
Muhammad to say?
that the good that befalls you is from Allah. That's what he told Muhammad.
No.
Yeah.
He says, wherever you may be, death will overtake you. Even if
Right.
you should be within towers or lofty construction, right? But if
Right.
good comes to them, they say this is from Allah.
Yeah.
And if even they say this is from you,
Right.
right? Now, so you
Yeah.
say it, you see next, it says, say
Yeah.
to Muhammad, all things are from Allah,
The good and the bad.
the good and the bad. So what is the matter with these people that they can't hardly even understand any statement? So Allah is saying, no, you tell them everything comes from me, right? Good and the bad.
Right. Right.
And then 479 says, what comes to you of good is from Allah, but what comes to evil comes from yourself.
Right. I mean, that's certainly
Okay,
an
so
interesting-
hold on, let's get it. So, do every good and bad come from Allah or not?
everything comes from Allah. That's what it says.
Okay. Well, in 479 it says no, evil comes from yourself.
Right. So, yeah. So I mean, I guess this is an interesting conversation. It gets into the crux of the predestination in Islam and whatnot, right? So I mean, ultimately, I think, are you trying to argue that there's a contradiction in the Quran, or like there's almost like no predestination?
I'm just saying, do you agree?
I don't know, man.
Where does evil come from, word?
You know,
Evil?
from Allah, according to this.
If we were to read what 78 and 79
Well,
it is, right?
ultimately,
If we're
Yeah,
to
well,
read
I mean-
78, apparently it comes from Allah. But if we read
Right.
79, it comes from us. Are we Allah?
no.
Then it has to be a contradiction.
Well, okay. You know what? I could see how that could be a contradiction. Definitely, I could see that. But I do have to research into that very specifically. I mean, kind of caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting it. Definitely check it up again.
But do you agree with the statement?
That all comes from everything comes from God or from Allah.
Either one. That's the contradiction. That's what you
Yeah,
want. You got to
everything.
pick, because either way, which one you pick, you're going to be going against your Quran.
Okay, well, let's see. Okay, look, the Quran says everything comes from Allah. Everything comes from Allah. And when it says that, well, actually, would that be a contradiction? Because anyway, in 79, Allah says good comes from Him. But I mean, He's not unique to one person.
That's not what where does evil comes from?
Whatever good befalls you is from Allah, and whatever evil befalls you is from yourself.
Okay, so 479 said whatever good comes from Allah, whatever evil comes from yourself. Correct? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. 478 says, you remember the people was trying to blame Allah for the good and Muhammad for the bad.
Right.
Allah corrects them and say, no, say all things come from Allah. So what is the matter with these people that they can hardly understand any statement?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I have to
so which one is it?
I don't want to jump to a conclusion. Yeah, it's a rough position to be in, but I still have to look at the Arabic. I mean,
Rough
interesting case.
position, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. At face value, it's definitely rough. But I mean, that's how arguments work, right? Bring a compelling argument, I go check it up, I come back with the knowledge, right? That's how it works.
So what I would say here, and I think that that's a very admirable answer. I respect that answer 100%. I wish more people would actually give that type of answer instead of making stuff up. Now, the only thing that I would ask you, though, my friend, is
Right.
you do know that Avery's live all the time, correct? Like at least 3 days a week.
I actually didn't know that. I think I just stumbled across the live and I just wanted to stay.
Hey, now you know, my friend. Now you know. So how about the next? And the next live is probably going to be a few days later, right? He usually takes the weekend off, so you'll have Saturday and Sunday that you'll be able to go and take a look at this stuff. How about you come back Monday and we'll have this discussion and see where you're at, right?
Yeah, I'm so down for that. Let's do that. It's amazing.
Okay.
Well,
So
go ahead, Word.
no, I was just, going to say, well, you're going to have to choose one or the other.
Like I said, I don't want
And
to.
whichever way you choose, it's going to go against the Quran.
Because maybe that in its reality, that sort of predicament or ultimatum doesn't really exist if I look at the Arabic or the context or even the linguistics or what it actually means. Like I said, I am not very knowledgeable on that specific verse. I'll go check and come back.
So where would you go to check?
Probably tafsir, maybe Arabic is where to look in the Arabic lexicons, check what the word for all meant in the previous one. Because I mean, the Quran does it a lot of times, right?
Right. So you're going to go somewhere outside of your Quran to see.
What do you mean to check the words? Because I'm using
outside of your
English.
Quran to understand how you can get past this apparent contradiction.
Right. I mean, we are using an English
I'm using his
translation.
language because it's apparent.
Right. Exactly. No, but I mean, you're using an English translation to create this argument, and I'm gonna check if that English translation
Arabic
is really what it means. What, magical error? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's some magical Arabic.
Wait, how did you get to magical Arabic, bro?
Because you said, well, no, I'm reading this in English.
You are, yeah. You're
Right,
gonna
so-
give it two different languages, correct?
Right.
So the Arabic says all here. I got the corpus pulled up. Kulun. It's all. Min indi from Allah. All is from Allah. So, and that's obviously in context of good and bad. Good and bad.
Right.
All of
I mean, all in of itself, even that word alone,
Yeah.
cool. Because cool doesn't only mean all. Actually, you know what? In the previous verse, when you were talking about how Allah makes a confirmation that He says, believe in what is it? All of my verses are clear.
It's a detailed explanation of all things.
So are you saying that it's not a detailed explanation of all things? Because
That's
not
all
detailed
things
about
is the question. I mean, yeah, sorry. They're different things, right? The word all, kul, is also used in different contexts, not just to say all, it's in all in context. For example, Allah also says the wind destroyed all things.
well, I'm just saying in this context,
That's what I'm saying. I have to check
it's
the
not
context,
clear.
right?
Is
I'm not
it
prepared on this
clear
verse.
or is it not clear?
Hold on. Let me say something here
I'm not
because
sure. Could you clear?
you brought up an
not
example.
sure.
Just really quick, you
Right.
brought up an example where it uses all, but it qualifies.
Let me just use
all it's
the verse
talking
so we don't get confused. Let me just get the verse out.
about. Yeah, where it says that it destroyed all their houses, and it says except da 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 da. So you're using a verse where the word all is qualified.
Right.
In these verses, or like even with the verse that we're talking about here, the word all is qualified. It's talking about the good and bad things. So it's qualified. All of it is from Allah, all the good and the bad. In the verse Chris brought up earlier about the detailed explanation of all things, it's not qualified.
Yeah.
So it's just a general statement that the Quran is a detailed explanation of all things.
Right. Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Like I said, I have to check.
Yeah.
I have
All
a
right.
good idea how you can get out of this predicament.
What, like become Christian or something?
Boom boom. There it is. I'm gonna do you close, man, because you already saw that coming, man.
And he
No,
even
leave
he
that
threw the
slide.
right answer on
He
that.
got the hikmah, man.
No, man. Like I said, let's have to check. You know, I prefer that in debates or whatever, you know, it'd be like good faith. So both of us are knowledgeable on whatever we're talking about. So whoever wins is the true winner. You know, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. That's what we do this for. We don't do this to embarrass or humiliate or anything like that. If we get somebody as on, like, notice how you conceded, like, okay, yeah, I gotta this does seem like it could be a contradiction. Let me look into this more.
Yeah.
We didn't mock you we celebrated you for that. We're like, yeah, that's honored. That's good. Because we cherish that. This is the type of attitude we want. Somebody honest like
Right.
that, be genuine. So Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
yeah, right.
For sure.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, if you, I wanted to ask you a quick, because if you want to go with that,
go ahead,
that's fine.
No worries. Go ahead.
What is it that convinces you of Islam? I don't know if you've been Muslim all your life, or maybe yeah, okay. But as you grew up as an adult, you've seen critics, you've seen, Islam be challenged and stuff like that.
Right.
What convinces you that Islam is actually true?
Well, I guess it just seems a bit simpler in its objectivity. I guess it's a bit more true, trustworthy, if it must be so.
In what regard?
Well, I feel like historically, I guess you guys might disagree with this. I feel like it does have a cleaner line of translation or transcription from the time of the Prophet till now. I feel like what it teaches is in line with morals, like with society. I feel like it's on a good roll. I feel like that's
so. What I'm hearing is it sounds like, to put it simply, you believe that the preservation of the Quran is a good evidence that Islam is true, and what the Quran teaches morally is good as well. So those two things are well, like, you're like, yeah, this makes sense. This lines up. Yeah. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this way then. Now let's do it two ways, because preservation of the Quran. Do you hold the position that the Quran has been preserved word for word, letter for letter, wherever you go? There's only one Quran everywhere.
Yeah, I would assume that the Qur'at that were revealed, I guess the 7 of the Qur'at were revealed, from the time of the Prophet. They would have been translated, and we have the same essence, if it must be so. Or we have the same Quran, we are reciting the same Quran.
Okay. So just because there's a lot of people that have different positions when it comes to this. There's some people who hold the position that the Quran is preserved word for word, letter for letter. There's never been any type of difference or variant. That's just like false. I mean, of course, you have the different variants of the Quran. I mean, if you go to Morocco, for example, if you ask for Quran, they'll ask Hafs or a different sort of Qur'at. But I mean, that's Qur'at. It's not different Quran. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there's people who hold the position that there are variances, but the meaning doesn't change, and so therefore, because the meaning is still intact, then it's still the same Quran. In that way.
Yeah, and I think I'd align with that perspective.
Okay.
I'd say even if there's a change in letter, the people that align with that certain sect or Qur'at, then they understand it the same way we do.
Okay. So I want to give you a couple examples where the meaning changes. Okay. Which is why I say that there's different Qur'ans. It's not perfectly preserved in a way that the Muslims think, because there are differences in meaning, not just in like word placement. Okay. So there's an Islamic website that I use, that I like to use, because it's a whole database of showing all the different readings of the Quran. They also got reciters and stuff. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna pull this up really quick.
All right.
Okay. Do you read Arabic at all?
Yeah, I can read it. I suck at it though.
Okay. All right. We won't rely on that. Let's see. Okay. So I'm showing my screen. I'm going to go ahead and expand it. Okay. And let's do it this way. All right. Can everybody see that pretty clearly?
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, I can see.
We good. We got it.
All right. So this is, well, you can't really see the website here, but it's in Quran.com. Matter of fact, I'll put the link in the comment section and in the private chat on StreamYard. So you guys go. Whoops. What did I just do? It stopped sharing. Beautiful. Beautifully done. All right, whatever. Let me just get it back up. Okay. All right. So that's the website there, guys. And then here you go. All right. So this is chapter 37, verse 12. Chapter 37, verse 12. And what this is talking about in context, Muhammad giving recitation and a revelation to the people around him, and they're not believing him. As a matter of fact, they're mocking him after hearing. Okay. And so the verse will say in the English, if you translate it, I can't translate it, but it says, but you wonder why they mock. In the Hafs reading of the Quran, this is the Hafs.
Right.
In this reading of the Quran, the word right here is ajepta, right? You wonder. It's like you, Allah speaking, talking to Muhammad. You wonder why they mock, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the versions have this reading. Now, there's a few that don't as well. There's a few that have the different reading. This is what we're going to look at real quick. I like this one because it color codes it. It shows us where the difference is in the diacritical mark and stuff.
Okay.
So in the Caliph Quran, Caliph and Hamza, and the Al-Kasai, both of these Qurans here, and the ones down here, Kasai right here. So it says, but I wonder while they mock. So now
that would make sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the one in Hafs and the others that says you wonder. The Caliph one says I wonder. Now that changes the meaning completely.
Okay. So I think I have two understandings of this, or just one. I mean, I think I heard it from Sheikh Uthman. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with him, right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So he meant the Uthman manuscripts, they didn't have the the markings or whatever. So with whatever it would be, it wouldn't really change. The meaning would still be the same, and in that case, it would be the Prophet wondering, because God can't really wonder. And I think that makes more sense, because then the qira'at would have changed, or in this case, the letter, the writing, someone could have miswritten it, and in that case, it would change the meaning, which would contradict Islam.
Wait, so just to be clear, kind of summarize that a little bit for me, because my wife texted me, and so I was.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So I was saying that I think that regardless, I mean, in the original Quran or the Uthman manuscript, it wouldn't have the markings anyway. So it'd still be reciting the same.
You actually wouldn't know how to read it without the diacritical marks.
Well, I mean, you could. I mean, Arabic right now, if you go to like Saudi Arabia, the Arabic they have is non-marked, but you can still read it, and they know how to read it.
No, so I'm talking about if you're talking about the Uthmani manuscript, well, we don't have that one, but in his time back then, they didn't have diacritical marks, which is why you had these different readings and different how they said it, right?
Yeah. However, what they did have was of course, the audio, if I should say. They had the reciting of the Quran. That's what they had.
And some of them recited it differently. They recited it like this.
Ultimately, it wouldn't make sense for them to recite something that would say Allah is wondering, because then that will contradict the Quran.
But see, and that's the point. That's the problem with this idea of perfect preservation, perfect reciting, and stuff like that, because this made it into the what you guys would call the authoritative, qira'at, the seven qira'at. This Caliph Hamza is one of those. Okay, and so and Al-Kasai is also another one. And so with this reading, it reads that Allah was surprised, which is how even Ibn Abbas, if you go to, I think it's Al-Qurtubi who's breaking this down, he says Ibn Abbas used to recite it this way as well. So,
and was that his understanding? Was that Ibn Abbas's understanding that Allah is wondering?
Well, in a way that befits him, I would say. Like some of them explain it that they don't know, like it's in a way that befits him. Like you even have a hadith. You have a hadith where it says that Allah wonders. Right. And the understanding of that is, in a way that befits and is befitting to him, not in the way that humans wonder necessarily out of ignorance, but they interpret it somehow.
Then if that understanding was applied to this case, would you then consolidate this contradiction? Would you say that it wouldn't fabricate as a contradiction then?
Yeah, no. So it's a contradiction because of who it is that's doing the wondering in this verse. Is it Muhammad that's doing it, or is it Allah that's doing it? Right. So that's it changes the meaning of the verse, whether it's Allah that's doing the wondering or Muhammad.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So and even if somebody can, if somebody can reconcile however they interpret Allah's wondering to be, because that's not my argument. Yeah. I can grant you however you interpret that, that's fine. The point is that the meaning of the verse changes. Okay.
And then that'll be a translation error, then impairing the preservation of the Quran.
Yeah, not translation, because it's in the air. This will be I guess a transmission error, or
right.
But you have to ask which one is the error. Is it Belajib 2 that I was surprised when Allah says it, or is it you were surprised? Which one objectively is the error?
And then that question in of itself is a problem for Islam, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because then we're stuck in a situation where whatever answer you give, it tarnishes the preservation of the Quran.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's strike 2 I have to look into.
That's all right though. Look, brother, are you on YouTube a lot? Like scrolling, watching stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a channel that you should get involved with. They're Christians. They're Arabic speaking Christians. One of them, they're a husband and wife. Their name is Jai and DOC. Jai and DOC. Let me actually show you their YouTube channel real quick.
How do you spell that?
Jai, G-A-I.
J-A-I.
Oh yeah, J-A-I. Sorry. Shut up.
Oh, I see
got
it. I see it. Yeah, Giant DOC.
Yep, this is them reloaded.
They're actually going to be live tomorrow at tomorrow afternoon, I believe.
Yeah. So what I'm showing you is what I learned from them. They taught me everything I know when it comes to Quran variants and this idea of preservation, early scholars and stuff. Like they know the sources, they speak Arabic, so they're able to walk you through it way better than I can, and they can show you what the scholars are saying and show you the sources, the Ishma, they can show you all of that stuff. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, they're live. They're live usually every they're usually live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays too, right? Like before my live.
I know for sure they're going to be live tomorrow because I got asked to join the call-in stream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. So yeah, maybe join in their live tomorrow if you're free, and they'll gladly have you, man. They'll gladly have you.
Why not?
Yeah. So you can look into that. They'll show you more examples of that. You mentioned the so that's Quran preservation. You mentioned morality.
Yeah.
You believe that the Quran teaches good morality as far as how we are to conduct ourselves as human beings, in society, how we are to treat each other. The Quran gives a supreme moral code and standard that we should live by. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously I have issues with that one as well. So you open to it?
I could assume. Yeah. Why not? Let's get into it.
Okay. So the biggest thing for me that I think that is a huge problem with what Islam teaches, both Quran and Hadith, and and I see it in Islamic societies even today, is the dealing with child relations. Okay. Now I got to ask you straight up: do you believe that it is okay for an adult male to have sexual relations with an immature girl?
Absolutely not.
Or vice versa, a mature woman to have immature.
No.
All right.
No, that's wrong. That's pedophilia.
All right, good. We're in agreement. Yes, that's exactly what that is. That's pedophilia. So, one, are you familiar with Muhammad's marriage to Aisha?
No, of course. All Muslims are.
Well, yep, that's right. So, he married her at 6 and consummated the marriage at 9, right?
Yeah.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah, now that is interesting. I think we need two perspectives on this thing, right?
Okay.
If you don't mind me getting into it.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. Go ahead and share your thoughts, bro.
Right. So I think the first one, which I also don't really align with, is that Arabs at the time begin counting age at the beginning of puberty, which would make Aisha 18 in our years, right? Although if you look into it, there's not really much historical evidence to that.
There's no historical evidence for that. There's not a single source that shows that.
The second perspective, though, is that it's just highly unlikely that she was actually 9, or at least 9 in the way that we think about it, right? So in the Quran, I'm sure you're aware of these verses that says that you can't marry anybody unless they're mature, right?
Nope. And there's not a verse in the Quran that says that.
Is it, I think, the age of judgment or the age of physical maturity?
It talks about, I think the verse you're talking about is chapter 4, where it's dealing with orphans and when you are to give the orphan their rightful inheritance or belongings. And you're
not necessarily, because that one talks about menstruation. That's a different story altogether.
Okay.
But in order for someone to be married, and this is also in the Hadith, you have to be of the age of physical and mental maturity.
No, sir. There's no Hadith that says that or Quran that says. The Quran says the opposite. Yes, sir. Let me show you. I'll show you. So the Quran says the opposite. So if you go to chapter 65, verse 4.
There's actually a debate that I'm going to be reviewing on my channel on Saturday Logic. It's actually between Malik and another Muslim. And it was on the reason why Muhammad waited 3 years to consummate the marriage with Aisha.
Okay, wow. Sorry, Logic. What verse did you say I should search up?
chapter 65,
All right.
verse 4.
Verse 4. Okay. And those who no longer accept menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their waiting period is 3 months. And for those who are pregnant, their term until they give birth.
Oh, you skipped a line, brother.
Did I?
Yeah.
And for those who are pregnant, their term is
Before
until
that. The line before that.
if you doubt, then their waiting period is 3 months. That one?
And then go ahead. Keep reading.
And for those who are pregnant.
No, brother. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're using Sahih International, right? Translation?
I just opened the on Google.
Yeah.
Just see on Google.
Yes, it's the Sahih International Translation. It says, and follow along with me, and those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And also for those who have not menstruated. Does it say that in yours? Yeah. And then it says, and for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth.
Okay.
And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him of his matter ease. Now, so this is talking about divorce. When you're divorcing three categories of females.
Yeah.
Right? It says those who no longer expect menstruation. Right? So those are the older women, right? The ones who are too old to menstruate, they hit menopause. They don't expect to have periods anymore. So their waiting period before they can move on is 3 months so to make sure they're not pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And it says, and the same waiting period goes for those who have not menstruated. So these are the girls who haven't reached puberty yet. They haven't menstruated yet.
Well, I mean, you could also not menstruate and be an adult.
Well, yeah, if you have some type of medical condition, sure.
Right.
But that's not what the Quran is talking about. So
how do you know that?
Well, so one, when it talks about the older women, then it talks about the one who has not menstruated. It says lam yahedna in the Arabic, which means they never menstruated before. They haven't done it yet in the past.
Okay.
Lam yahedna, that hasn't happened. Those are little girls. They haven't reached the years of menstruation yet.
Again, I mean, that's not isolating it to little girls. I mean, people can have adults that have never menstruated, yeah?
Well, this is the understanding of all the scholars as well. They also agree with this.
That is little girls? Could you
say that again?
I doubt that is little girls.
Yeah, I got you. So I'll put it on the screen too. I got you, man. Let me share this tab instead. Okay. 654. So let's go to the tafsirs here. We'll read this Jalalain one. These are two scholars that work together on a commentary. It says, as for those of your women who no longer expect to menstruate, if you have any doubts about their waiting period, their prescribed period shall be 3 months. And also for those who have not yet menstruated because of their young age, their period shall be 3 months. Both cases apply to other than those whose spouses have died. For these latter, their period is prescribed in the verse. So, right, because of their young age. So that's how they understand it. Watch Ibn Kathir. I know you've heard of Ibn Kathir before, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yep, he's one of the top Sunni scholars. So watch what he says. The iddah, right, the waiting period of those in menopause and those who do not have menses. Allah, the Exalted, clarifies the waiting period of the woman in menopause. And that is the one whose menstruation has stopped due to her older age. Her iddah is 3 months instead of the 3 monthly cycles for those who menstruate, which is based on chapter 2, verse 28. The same for the young who have not reached the years of menstruation. Their iddah is 3 months like those in menopause. This is the meaning of his saying, and for those who have no courses, or in the other translation, those who have not menstruated.
Okay. And what if this verse could be also referring to the people at the time of the Prophet who were already married to children before this revelation came down? So they were pre-married to children in the areas of Jahiliyyah, right? Ignorance. So let's say, for example, there was some guy that was at the time of the Prophet and he married a kid, or maybe a group of people, right, at the time of the Prophet. And then Allah revealed this verse so that he could, at least since they already married together to a kid, although that's wrong, then this could clarify how then they would go on with their lives.
This wouldn't apply to them because this is the Quran. Like,
exactly, but
hold on. They were disbelievers. This is giving them a context who they can't marry. not from the past or who they're divorcing, because they're telling them how long that it is going to be.
No. I'm like people that are already married to children by the time they become Muslim.
It's okay. We're gonna
whenever you get a chance, Logic, share my screen and because we can nip all this to the bud.
Yeah, I was gonna show him I was gonna show you the context in which this verse came.
Okay, yeah.
But word, is that what you have already?
No, I got the Sharia and the fiqh and all of that.
Okay, I'll let you show that in just a second. I'm gonna show you the Asbab al-Nuzul, the reason why the verse is revealed. Okay, Amadou, and let me see, where do I have that website up? No, I don't. Okay, let me do it this way. Let's go to tafsir.com. Oh snap! Did they mess it up? Oh no! Hold on. Here we go. Dang, why they play me like that? All right, let me see. I kind of changed it a bit. Wait, hold on, bro. Oh, here we go. All right. So 65 verse 4, and we're gonna pull up the Asbab al-Nuzul, the reason why the verse was revealed.
Bring it out, Aki.
I'm gonna bring it out, Ak. Okay, so can we all see it clearly? It's not too small, right?
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, let me just enlarge actually a bit. Okay. So it says, so it's quoting the verse, right? And for such of your women as despair of menstruation, said Muqatil, when the verse, women who are divorced shall wait, keeping themselves apart. Khalad ibn al-Numan ibn Qais al-Ansari said, O Messenger of Allah, what is the waiting period of the woman who does not menstruate, and the woman who has not menstruated yet? And what is the waiting period of the pregnant woman? So notice this isn't talking about in the past and stuff like that. Before Islam, they're now. Like, how do we deal with this now? You know, how do we go about this when we're in these situations?
Was it his question that caused the verse to be revealed?
Yes.
So yeah, that'll like play into my question, right? Because say this guy was married to a kid, then he would ask then, since I'm married to a kid, what is the rule?
Well, he just asked about all of them, right?
Right.
So he doesn't say he's married to a kid. He's just talking about what is the ruling, how are we supposed to handle divorcing the women who don't menstruate anymore and those who haven't menstruated yet.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes, and what is the waiting period of the pregnant woman? And so Allah, the Exalted, revealed this verse. Abu Ishaq al-Muqari informed us, Muhammad, yada, 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 is given a chain. Abu Uthman Amr ibn Salam, who said, when the waiting period for divorced and widowed women was mentioned in Surah Baqarah, Ubay bin Ka'b said, so this is Ubay bin Ka'b, O Messenger of Allah, some women of Medina are saying there are other women who have not been mentioned. He asked him, and who are they? He said, those who are too young, such that they have not started menstruating yet. And those who are too old, their menstruation has stopped. And those who are already pregnant. And so this verse, chapter 65, verse 4, was revealed. So notice, this isn't in some pre-Islamic era or of ignorance and stuff like. No, this is during Islam.
Yeah.
How are we going about this? Because this is permissible. They're allowed to marry and divorce and kids.
But I mean, the ruling is on divorce, not on marriage, correct?
Say that again.
The ruling's on divorce, not on marriage.
Yeah, but how do you consummate a divorce? I mean, a marriage.
The marriage could happen out of Islam, and I'm sure you're aware of that, correct?
How do you make sure they're married, bro? They have to consummate the marriage, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in order for them to divorce them, that means they already have to be married to them. Consummation already had to happen, and
the marriage could take place out of the fold of Islam.
All right, man. You playing games? Can you show my screen real quick?
Seriously, how am I playing?
Now you're doing mental gymnastics, bro.
Yeah, Amadou, there's nothing about this, Amadou, that's saying that this is before Islam. All of this is talking about during Islam. We even have the companions of Muhammad.
I'm sure what it's saying is that divorce with a kid during Islam, right?
Can you? Yeah. And
remember, Logic, you initially began by saying Islam all promotes child marriage, right?
Yes, it permits it.
Exactly, but it's not permitting the child marriage, it's permitting child divorce.
So if it's telling you how to divorce a child, it's showing that it's permissible to marry a child in the first place.
No, it's showing that it's permissible to divorce a child that you've married, possibly out of the fold of Islam.
Do you know what the iddah is?
Yes, the iddah period is the waiting period.
Right. Do you know what it's for?
Yeah, when you're divorcing a person, you divorce in stages, right? So that maybe, I don't know, there's a chance of consolidating the marriage.
Well, the main reason, the reason is to make sure she's not pregnant.
Oh, okay.
So, notice how even the little girls have a waiting period when they're getting divorced to make sure she's not pregnant, so that they can also move on to the other man. They could be lawful for another man to marry them. So they got to make sure they're not pregnant first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So them having a waiting period demonstrates, one, the men slept with them. It's permissible to sleep with them as long as when you marry them, it's permissible to sleep with them, consummate the marriage, and to divorce them, to make sure they're not pregnant, so that another man can go ahead and marry them, make them lawful for the next.
But I mean, again, it's detailing laws of divorce, and divorce is like the end of marriage, literally.
Okay, so let's go on your understanding of it. If it's just about the people that did this in the pre-Islam and this was their rules and it wouldn't apply to Muslims, then we shouldn't see this in the Sharia, correct?
What do you mean, marrying a child?
Yeah. We shouldn't see that in the Sharia at all, correct?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Word.
You see this on the screen?
Zoom in on
no
that.
idea what that is.
This says the digest of Mohammedan law. This is Sharia. You see it?
It's a digest of Mohammedan. I don't know if that's
Mohammedan law. That's just the older version of how they used to say Sharia in English.
Digest done by who? Who did the digest? Who did the digest?
This is the authorities in the original Arabic, an introduction into explanatory notes. Right? You see this?
Yeah, but go up for a second. It says by Neil.
Yeah, by Neil Bali. This is he's from.
Who is that? Is he a Muslim?
He's like an Indian, Pakistan.
Is he Muslim though? I've never heard.
Yeah,
of that.
he's Muslim. Yeah, this is Muslims, right? So this is on the page 54. It says there's a difference in opinion as to the time when a marriage with a young girl may be consummated. So this is just not talking about divorce. This is talking about the marriage now. May be consummated. Some saying that it should not be till she has actually arrived at puberty, and others that it may take place when she has attained the age of 9 years. Most of the learned are of the opinion that no regard should be paid to years in this matter, but that ability is rather to be considered, and that if a girl be stout and plump, able to bear the embraces of a man, and there is no apprehension of danger to her health, the husband may consummate with her, though she should not have attained to 9 years. So even if she's younger than 9, if she's plump, right? If she's plump,
sexually mature, yes.
No, it doesn't mean sexually mature. If her body frame, if she have enough meat on her, that she can.
No.
What do plump mean, bro?
Able to bear the embraces of a man.
Okay, so that means she's plump. She's big boned, we would say.
No, she's sexually mature because she's able to bear the embraces of a man and not have any danger.
Okay, so at 9 years, but they can do this before 9 years old, correct?
If you are able to bear the embraces of a man and there's no apprehension of danger.
So this is a child, correct?
That's pedophilia, brother.
This is a child, correct?
Again, I mean, the concept, it has to be an adult within the Islamic framework.
It says, hold on, what did it? I just read it to you.
Right,
it says that the puberty should not be considered, or the age. The only thing that is considered is if she is able to bear the embraces of a man, and there's no apprehension of danger to her health, the husband may consummate with her. Let's keep going.
How can you do that again?
Though she should not have attained 9 years of age, but that if she be weak or slender and unable, there is any reason to apprehend injury to her health, the husband is not at liberty to consummate with her, even though she exceeds that age. That is sound. So this is saying that no matter how old she is, the only thing that's going to be able to, you're going to have to take into regard, not even puberty. The only thing you take into regard if she is able for it, if she have a thick enough frame, if she's not slender and skinny.
No, not necessarily. I feel like you're excluding.
That's necessarily. Yes, it says it right here, bro.
Yeah, and then just finish the verse and not cause any danger to herself, meaning sexually mature.
How do you know if it's going to cause danger to someone? How do you know if someone is sexually mature or immature?
If sex doesn't cause danger.
So that means you have to try, correct?
Sorry?
That means you have to try to have
You
intercourse.
could definitely tell it. I mean, you could assume the age of a person without having to look at the ID, right?
Hold on, but do you have to try to know if she is able for it?
No, not necessarily. Why do you have to do that?
What?
How are you gonna know? You can't look at the outside of somebody and be like, "Yep, she's ready."
Okay, if you have a 19-year-old, if you have a person,
We're
that's
not talking
30
about 19-year-old. Don't move the goalpost.
No,
We're talking we're talking about children that's 9 or younger.
No, but I mean, you asked me a question. I was answering the question within.
Yeah, in context of a child, my brother.
In the context of a child.
Yes, a context of 9 years old.
How would you be able to differ a plump person that's able to bear the embraces of a woman, like thick bone?
This is what we're asking.
Mr. The World said, right? How would you be able to differ that person from a child? You could.
Can we first agree that according to this ruling, it's talking about children and it's permissible to sleep with children as long as they're ready for it, as long as they can handle it?
Talking about children in the Western perspective, correct? Because the children in the Western perspective is determined by age, by years.
So you're saying it's possible that somebody 9 and younger is a grown woman?
Yeah, it's possible that a person younger than 9 could have reached puberty already. Yeah,
and is a grown woman.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule.
I got you, bro. Yeah, and so and that's all right. I mean, this is Islam. Islam is the only religion that I know of that's like will outwardly, voicely, and will defend and make excuses for.
But wait, let me just make myself clear, right? I mean, it's not that Islam is saying go marry children. I'm saying that it's certainly possible that a person could be an adult before 9 years old. Yeah,
a 9-year-old that started her puberty is a grown woman in Islam.
I mean, we could search. Is there any case in history that a person before 9 hit puberty?
Okay,
and you probably find some cases. Yes.
Let's give them this, because this is another Sharia book, Reliance of the Traveler, a classic manual of Islamic sacred law. Right. This is another book. It says in this the integrals of a marriage agreement. Whenever a free woman asks to marry a suitor who is suitable match by telling her guardian, "Marry me to him," the guardian must marry her to him, whether she is a virgin or non-virgin, and whether prepubescent or not. So they don't have to be pubescent. They can be prepubescent or not. So being mature and all of this, it doesn't matter. Like I just showed you in the other one, it doesn't. So that's not accounted for. It's whether she is thick, plump, and able to withstand a man's embrace. For a man to be on top of her. That's what that's all that matters.
So then that'll be this guy's understanding, correct?
No, that's in the book. That's in the Sharia, bro.
No, but remember, you just pulled out two. You said it's a different book, and the first one said there's a difference in opinion.
This is not a difference in opinion. This one is just stating it more explicitly whether they have to reach puberty or not.
No, but the other one, literally, to be plump and ready for intercourse would require you to be pubescent. How else can you reach?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What? Just because you have,
Mr. The World,
it's okay.
Just because you're a little thicker than the other kids, that doesn't make you automatically means that you're pubescent.
Mr. The World and I, have you? Is it biologically possible to have a?
It's okay. It's okay, bro. I got to get going anyway. We're done with this. But if you want to hold that, you know, that's going on.
I just want to ask the World a question.
No. I'm gonna do
60 seconds.
I'm gonna do this.
Right, no worries. That's okay. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I appreciate you for coming, man. You can go ahead and have Islam if you want, bro. Go ahead and enjoy it. But thanks for coming, bro. All right, so yeah, guys. I mean, that's Islam. That's Islam. Islam will have you defending child sexual relations. It'll have you defending and making excuses for child sex relations, and you know, and that's what it is being a Muslim. You're muted, Chris.
Islam will have you saying a 9-year-old is an adult.
Yep.
That man.
But you see how the goalpost shifted. First, it was about divorcing. But once we brought it up and I showed them, then no, this is talking about marriage and consummating again. Well, she got to be mentally or physically mature and all of this. Now it moved. It moved from, no, this was the pre-Islamic period where, you know, it was from the pre-Islamic period where they did this before. But once we showed them, no, this is in Islam. Right. And these kids or their kids. Oh, now, but she, you know, have to be mentally or physically mature and all of this. No matter what we brought him, he was just going to move the goalpost.
Yep. We offer you guys a better way. That's the gospel message. Jesus Christ is the only way. He's the light. No. You see how dark the stream got because of that? like this darkness because of the teachings of Islam, with the permissibility of abusing children, and how it will literally have these human beings defending it and making excuses for it. The light that breaks through that darkness is Jesus Christ. He's the only way, the only truth, the only salvation that will rip you away from such a carnal religion and a carnal mind. This is a demonic religion, is a religion of Satan. It's a religion of demons, and a religion that will blindfold you and have you defending such sick, evil things. So, welcome to Islam, and we invite you guys to the gospel message of Jesus Christ and Christianity. That's the only way to say it.
That's why I hate doing that on that topic on my stream. Like, I don't have a whole topic centered around that, because I walk away with a headache. I'm mad. I'm frustrated because the amount of people, even women, that comes up and defend this is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
You notice how this topic doesn't come up on a Logic live stream. It only come up because of the reasons why this guy said what he did. If he wouldn't have said a moral reason, we wouldn't have went here in the first place, because this isn't the type of conversation we want to have anyway.